100 years ago, Nikola Tesla discovered a healing technology that threatened the entire pharmaceutical industry. The day he died, the government seized everything. For 100 years, this technology was hidden. Until now, plasma is back. Tesla Club, tzla.club.
Hello and welcome to The Dot Connector. Well, I turned 74 this week and I got to kind of pondering on this whole idea of age and time and all that goes with it, because this whole idea of aging and time being real is such a fundamental part of the control system. Is that the time? Oh my goodness, time flies. Oh, time's going so slow today. And it kind of dictates our life in so many ways. But how can I be 74 when there is no time? It's a strange one. Because if you break it down, we have this idea that in the moment, we're experiencing the present. And everything other than that, like the past, that's gone, and a memory. And the future, well, that's a projection. We worry about the future. We, regret the past, or we enjoy the past and look forward to the future, whatever. But where are we when we experience what we now perceive as the past? We were in the now. We were in that, if you like, present moment. Where will we be when the future, as we perceive it, becomes the experience in the now? We'll be in the now. So the only point that exists is actually this infinite now. And so, well, why does the body age then? Well, it's my view, so I've talked about over the years, that this human body is like a biological computer. And it's encoded. It's encoded with the ability to react to situations that it faces, environmental changes that it faces, and all these things. I say very strongly that it's encoded with psychological response programs as well, which we can override with consciousness. But if we don't override them, then the body's reaction system is running everything when we think it's us. And I also suggest that the body is encoded with a cycle of what we perceive as aging from womb to tomb, if you like. And I'm sure that consciousness can also override that aging program too, at least slow it down. And it's kind of been a week of confirmation in so many ways, certainly, what I've seen, of the fact that this reality is nothing like we think it is and how we experience it. So the time thing is fundamental, but there's also, and it's becoming more prevalent now, this whole so-called extraterrestrial element to human life. Now, of course, I've been saying now for decade after decade that ultimately human society is being manipulated from another dimension of reality. And it's not so much that solid physical beings are coming from other planets, as we perceive them anyway. It's that they're coming in and out of this reality from another reality. Now, I'm not saying there won't be some we perceive as physical beings in this human reality at all. No, I'm not saying that. But overwhelmingly, it's interdimensional that we're talking about. And I was interested to see this week. What I said at the turn of this year is that this would be the year of the, quote, alien, if you like, disclosure. And the reason I said that is because of the Steven Spielberg film, Disclosure Day, that's coming out in June. I think it's released in America on, is it June the 12th, something like that. And, when you look at the Spielberg kind of history, and you've got kind of E.T. and Close Encounters of the Third Kind and all that stuff, I thought, this is no accident. This is no coincidence. This is going to be the peg to hang forms of disclosure. It won't be the truth. Forms of disclosure on in terms of releasing it to the public. And it took only weeks before Trump, or that which controls Trump, announcing that he's going to release UFO files and reveal what's been hidden. And so I saw this clip this week from a representative on Capitol Hill called Anna Paulina Luna, who's talked quite a bit over recent months about the whole extraterrestrial theme. And what she's saying here is that she's seen evidence that what are perceived as aliens are actually, wait for it, interdimensional beings, which I absolutely say that they are. So this is what she said.
I think you've said in the past that you've seen yourself evidence of interdimensional beings. What's that, aliens or?
So interdimensional beings is what our witnesses will call these things. I have seen evidence in a skiff that leads me to believe there are things we cannot explain. And I have observed things that are of non-human origin and creation. That's my opinion. Again, but there has been a declassification order from the president, and you will see as soon as that stuff comes out.
Right. So do you think that the American public's going to be super surprised when this comes out, or is it going to be a bit of a nothing burger?
Well, I don't think it'll be a nothing burger, but, we're not going to tell the American people what to make of it. But I think, when, again, you saw my last hearing that I did with the task force where there was some footage that was entered into the archive, and it's pretty shocking for people. I don't know much tech that can deflect a Hellfire missile. I don't know about you. But, I think
so.
That's
What do you
the type
think?
of footage that you'll see.
So what do you, if you had to just make a decision now about whether there really were, I guess, aliens moving among us with their strange machines that have all sorts of powers, do you think that's plausible?
I don't call them aliens, and I don't know what these things are that they're using, right? But I think that there's stuff that we have witnessed as members of Congress, been briefed on, that we cannot explain. And I will leave it at that, because that's going to be coming out soon. And I think that the American people will have many of their questions answered.
So we await and see what they release. But if you go on authority in its history, then you'll realize that probably they won't be revealing the truth. They'll be revealing what suits this global cult that is representative of this other dimensional force, what suits them to reveal for ulterior motives. Anyway, we'll see what that is eventually. Apparently, relatively soon. And of course, there's this theme going on also with these missing and dying scientists that have been connected, or at least many of them connected into the kind of technology that the alien technology is supposed to be about, like, you know, anti-gravity technology and all that. And there's definitely a whole wave coming towards us relating to this subject. And then this morning, as I was just putting the dot connector together, I came across this video, and what I've become, well, I can only say infamous for over the last 30 years is saying that a prime expression of this interdimensional manipulative force, shall we say, takes a reptilian form. And that because of this ability to shift frequency, they can shapeshift between different forms, like they can appear human and then shift into a reptilian form. And of course, this has got me so much ridicule and, abuse, laughter over the years. But if what you say has validity, then it will eventually be shown to be so. And this is a clip of a lady called Elizabeth April. Now, she's seems to have many talents. She's a Canadian psychic and also a remote viewer, where you project your consciousness into different locations, and you're able, the ones that can really do it, to see things that are hidden from the public. Now, she has said in this interview that she's remote viewed underground bases, and that what she's seen in those bases, as I've been writing about in the books for decades, she's seen reptilian entities in these what are called DUMBs, deep underground military bases. And also, she says, she's seen the cloning of politicians and celebrities as she calls them, that then, I guess, are put out into the public arena, and you think it's the original when it isn't. That's the theme here. But what she says, of course, is I've been saying since the 1990s, but there's one thing she says that I would question, and I'll talk about that when we've seen what she has to say about the reptilians.
One of the things that I ended up seeing a lot of, actually, in a surprising way, were these, at the time I called them these giant dinosaur beings. Now, obviously, they're referenced as sort of reptilians. And this is sort of that and cloning was something that I wanted to kind of sit on probably for the rest of my life. Like, I was truly planning on taking that information to my grave, A, because it sounds absolutely crazy, and B, because I really didn't feel safe in exposing the truth of what's really happening. And the fact that this world is not being run by, human beings. It's being run by something else altogether.
And so another word for them is also the Dracos, correct? I mean, they are basically what controls humanity. Are we breaking the bondage? Are we breaking the slavery with them? I know we're used as, I guess a lot of people in the New Age community as well as said we're used as like energy or food for them. Basically, they basically farm humans, correct?
Yeah, so from what I've seen, they can consume our energy, which is a lot of the public rituals. Like, I know people may not agree with this, but like things like the Super Bowl or like really big concerts, are all sort of energy harvesting and then also public forms of ritual, which allow us to consent to these crimes against humanity by not contesting it, right? So it's just like it's a very deep level of karmic manipulation, free will manipulation, and that's why they have to be so public about their involvement and yet so secretive as well, so that we don't resist. And then there's also the physical consumption as well, both consuming human bodies and then also drinking our blood. And specifically, they have certain rituals that bring out the most amount of these sort of stress hormones, which is what they feed off the most. So there's usually a lot of torture involved in these rituals before they gather the blood and consume it.
Now, what Elizabeth says there about mass events like concerts and well, I guess football matches, where massive numbers of people come together, that they are kind of an energy harvesting ritual for these reptilians and these other dimensional entities. I think that's spot on. I've been saying that myself, because you've only got to go into a big a football crowd, for instance, and you see, or you can feel the excitement of people, to the point where the hairs on your back of your neck can stand up, or the hairs on your arm or whatever. And it's like, that is an electromagnetic field that is generated from the emotional excitement of the crowd. And that's what they are absorbing as their sustenance, what's become known as loosh, this human energy. But where I differ on that clip is where it said that they have to tell us, and what was it again? That consent is necessary. Kind of what you pick up over the years is they have to tell us what they're going to do as part of some universal law that avoids karma or something. I think that's a load of all crap, personally. I don't think they have to tell us. And by the way, are they telling us? If they are harvesting energy and manipulating society on the basis of you not complaining or resisting, and therefore you're giving consent by default, well, hold on a bloody moment. How can you give consent for anything if you're not aware what there's anything to give consent to? Because it's kept from you. So I don't think that for a moment they have to tell us. I think it's to do with the fact that it's kind of a form of preemptive programming. They're putting into the conscious and subconscious mind, particularly the subconscious mind, their program, what they're planning to do. And therefore, at some level, people become familiar with it. Instead of like, oh, no, we're not having that. What are you talking about? We're not doing that. No, it's a familiarity that is infused into the subconscious. So when it kind of starts to happen in reality, you are kind of familiar with it, and you're less resistant to it as a result. And the other thing, and this is a really big area that's not focused upon even nearly enough. And that's the fact that our perceptions, which manifest themselves as a frequency field, are interacting with the if you like, the universal field of possibility and probability. And we are manifesting an experience that relates to our perceptions. Simple thing, if you think you have no power and no influence on life, then you will not have any, because that perception won't interact with the universal field to produce an impact that it doesn't believe that it has. In other words, little me mentality becomes little me life, not because you're little me, but because you believe that you are. And so it benefits the manipulation if you can get mass numbers of people in a certain perceptual mode, because they will interact with the field of possibility and probability, and they will manifest a experienced expression of what you have perceptually manipulated them to believe. In other words, they manipulate us to create our own prison while thinking what's happening to us is all random. That's the reason they're telling us or leading us into belief systems that certain things are inevitable, when if we think they're inevitable, we collectively create them through this interaction. To see the rest of the Dot Connector this week and every week, go to iconic.com after 5 p.m. every Friday.
In 1943, the government seized Nikola Tesla's most dangerous invention, a healing technology that threatened Big Pharma's entire empire. They buried it for 100 years, but it's back, and over 1,000 people worldwide are using it right now. When you join Tesla Club, you get your own Tesla plasma device, 5 times more powerful than the original Violet Ray and built to last. You join a private Telegram group where members share breakthroughs daily. Stroke recoveries, cancer reversals, chronic pain gone in minutes. These aren't stories. These are yesterday's posts. You get lifetime support from people who've been where you are. Technical guidance, therapeutic protocols, a group that actually understands. And you get access to hundreds of documented experiments, real members, real results, real transformations. No prescriptions, no waiting for permission, no begging doctors who don't believe you. Just you, your machine, and a movement taking health sovereignty back. We're Tesla Club, private science club for self-directed healing. Visit tzla.club. Join the revolution. Plasma.
It's back!
Don't mention the reptiles, Dave.
Even less is said about the Grey Pope, who some believe to be the true ruling power in the Vatican.
Humans emitting a MAC address.
All of them had Bluetooth signals.
I've never seen it before.
Queuing up to transition their children.
This is the ultimate suicide cult.
What if the symbols around us every day aren't just ornamental?
We lost 1,000 years of history.
What if they're instruction?
That state of awareness is not manipulatable.